Hello everyone.
Welcome back to our channel.
Mm-hmm.
If you're new here, we'll film about lifestyle, beauty, and hair solutions. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I'll be saying it again.
yeah,
And of course, you know, my lovely wife.
Tosin.
Hello, Tosin.
Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe below
Yes,
and do
please.
not make it your last time. So subscribe. Kindly
Good.
remember to give this video a thumbs up because you're going
Huge
to
ones,
love it.
man. Huge ones.
And don't forget to leave a comment below, okay?
Yes, please.
So in today's video, I have my amazing husband with me. As you can tell by the title of the video, we are going to be talking about our PR story. Now, it has taken me this long to do this video because Obi has been away from at work, and there's no PR story talk without him because the dream was birthed first, was first conceived by him before it became our shared dream, if you get what I'm saying. So I didn't want to do this video. I just could not do this video on my own, right? So I decided that I will bring him because he was the principal applicant as well. So I decided that whenever we have chance to come on here and film this video, and that is why we are here. So going straight into the video, you guys pardon us if we do not have like exact details because we started a long time ago, right? So and then I don't think there was any jottings or anything. We were just going with the
long time is relative as well. So people started way before that, so
well, okay.
and they still have their dates. But yeah, it's been a while, and we don't have like the specific dates, amounts, and time. But we have our laptop here, so we can just cross check on those ones as well. But the ones we're not too sure about, but we'll try our best to get.
Yeah, we'll try our best to give you correct and accurate details. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Canada. Why Canada? Like that's the first thing. Why Canada?
I think at that point, this was probably 2017-ish. Countries that it was easy to relocate to at that point, most of them were not given permanent residency, or you had to go through school, or the process was usually very long. So Canada was like the most friendly in terms of immigration rules and getting citizenship and your permanent residency without having to go through different corners or cutting edges and corners as well. So that was why I decided to go to Canada, and of course, you could go directly without branching to school, and because I wasn't prepared for school at that point in time, and it wasn't really like it was that affair at the beginning of it, but close to the end, probably at 2017 it wasn't a that affair, but close to the end, 2020, 2021, it became a dream, and we couldn't wait to get out of the country and start living here.
Okay, so that is why he decided on Canada. Okay, so I want to ask the question: when you first um, started making moves,
Yeah.
what was my
How did I take it?
yeah, how did I take it?
Okay, so like I said, it wasn't a dream at first. It was just having different options on ground. Our career was still fairly new as at this time, 2017. Probably we've just been working for maybe 2 3 years as at that time. So it was just basically considering options, just in case career didn't go well or as planned. It was just having backup for your life plan or retirement plan as well. So, when this came up, I just mentioned it. So I was still dating then. So nothing too serious. I think probably 2 years into our relationship or 3 years. This was back in 2017. 2018 probably as well. Early 2018. So probably 2 years into our relationship, she was like, so you want to leave me and go. So no, the first thing was like, she's not going anywhere. I'm not going to go and be a cleaner in one man's land. And I'm like, guy, I would rather be a cleaner than be, one professional, and I'll be earning peanuts. Because at that point, man was just trying to, get by and make do what he had. But, the mindset wasn't just, travel and be a cleaner. But, that cleaner what she had in mind at that point in time, she was like, she's not going to be doing cleaner work. Or she'd rather be a king in her own little village than go to somewhere else and be, the kind of mindset then she had. But and then again, she also had reservations like, good to go now. Go leave me. Maybe that's the end. Who knows? I said, okay, good luck, oh. And that's basically how it started, and that's how she took it at that point in time. And before the ending of it, come prayer warrior on top and say, yeah, when are we going to Canada? What's going on? I don't answer you yet. Like, how far? What's the lowdown? What's the update? So like, gosh, maybe you do not want to go before. What's going on now? Why are you putting it on your head like a
Okay,
so
so initially, you want to say something?
let them know what you can describe how you took it better.
So initially, when you first said it, like maybe because like me, like I did not know anybody that was directly close to me that was abroad. So when you first said, like the image that maybe the media or movies that portrayed about abroad life is like when you leave Nigeria, when you go there, you have to be doing menial jobs and all of that. I'm like, me that I have my career projection in my head planned out. I want to become chartered, get my. I think at that time I started doing ACCA. I wanted to get chartered, get a better paying job because in my head, I was still fresh from uni now. I think that was like 2-3 years after uni. So like in my head, I still had dream, believe and faith in the system that once I get chartered, I'll get a better job. I'll do this. But at that time, so like I was like, how would I not leave my accounting career and go settle in another country and probably be doing cleaning job or something? That was the image I had. So I was like, I don't know. And then after it went from I don't know, I don't plan to go to also because I was looking at that time we were dating. So I'm like, I didn't know how the process was. So I was like, if he goes now, or okay, now he's telling me he wants to do this, how do we do it together? No, I don't have money to run anything. So I started thinking like that means he's going to go and leave me. So I'm looking like, well, God, you know the future, right? So if this is the line that you want him to go, then make it happen for him. So like at this point, I mean, I don't recognize myself or something. And I'm like, okay, but if we are meant to be, then you will let it all work out for the good of both of us in the end. So that was what in my mind, that's how I just concluded it. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is that I'm going to be asking him to tell us that we're going to be talking about is when did the journey start?
Yep. So started in 2018. I'll say mid to late 2018. I reached out to an agent on LinkedIn then to just ask about relocation plans, and he suggested I go to Australia because Australia was easier and better. That was in his own words. Probably because of my credentials at that point in time, I just had a BSc and the scores were already going very high for express entry for Canada. So probably that was why he said that. But you should have given me the options of what was on ground. But I felt Australia was not it for me because I wasn't even ready to travel at this point in time. So somebody telling me I should go to Australia was like off. I should have just left it for a few months. And one of my friends mentioned it as well that he has been on it for like 2 years, I think. So he was like, oh no, I can still run Canada. Let's just do postgraduate degree so that we can increase our score. So that's what I did. So I did this for 2019 to better myself for the pool, and I'm trying to increase my scores as well. Because without the postgraduate, I think I already did my IELTS. This would have been 2019 as well. So I think without the postgraduate, I was probably on 430 something, and the scores at this point in time was around 460 something for the express entry. So yes, started this in 2018. Officially started this and started planning towards it in 2018, late 2018.
Okay, so started planning. So it was in 2018 you created your profile.
Yes, no, it was in 2019 I created my profile.
Okay, but you started actively working towards it in 2018.
Yes, that is correct.
So that was the year you took your IELTS.
No, I took my IELTS in 2019. Yeah, I took my IELTS in 2019. I'll try and get the exact date I took the IELTS. So I took the IELTS while I was running the program 2019. Also, I completed my BSc degree as well 2019. I started preparing my work reference letters and the rest as well 2019 as well. So that the only thing that would have been left would have been the postgraduate degree to add it to it at the end of the program, and the score probably go up after that. So everything was done and sorted for 2019, pending for when the postgraduate result comes out, and I accredit that as well. So this was finished in 2019 as well. Everything was supposed to be finished in 2019. Then COVID happened 2020. the delay to get the results out, to get it accredited. Everything took something that should have taken maybe a month or two, took like 6 months to get it up and running. And then I think I was able to finally add this to I was finally able to finally add this to the profile in 2020, but I want to get the date in 2020. I was able to add this to the profile. So yeah, the result I started crediting it in February 2020, and I think it came back in June 2020. Then I updated this and added I added this to my express entry profile, and I think I shot up to 464 or 467. I'm not really sure. I think it was 467. I'm not really sure what the score was at this point in time. But at this point in time, there was no more express entry draws. There was nothing going on anymore. I think it was just mostly no. There was two draws. Sorry, it was 2021 that there was no express entry draws. My mistake, my bad. So at this point, it was just a waiting game to see when the score drops or and be picked in the pool. And at this point as well, I've not yet added my wife. We're not married then, but we're engaged. So it was just a waiting game to see how soon either one comes.
So it
Then
was maybe the either of when you get called in or invited, right?
yeah,
And when
when you get invited. So my score was already 467. I think at that point the cutoff was like 471, 474. But it was somewhere around that range. Sometimes it's still 469. So my hope was that at times they do double draws. I think like two draws in a week. So anytime they do two draws in a week, hopefully it drops to that kind of score, and hopefully you'll be able to apply. So during the wait, I think in August, no, it's definitely in August 2020, Ontario did a draw for tech and finance and accounting. So the score that they picked was within that range as well for mine. So I was in two odds at this point in time because I think the last draw they did was probably 468 or 469, and I was 467. So I was in two odds: go for the Ontario OIMP or wait for the express entry for when they pick you, probably in the next draw, in the next two draws, if you're lucky. So I didn't immediately, apply for the Ontario IMP because it cost a lot as well. Not necessarily a lot. I think the application fee is 1.5 Canadian dollars, but as well, all the process of getting the documents and whatnot, and you can only stay in Ontario as well. It's also as good as the express entry, but it's not like express entry. And I felt like if I waited, probably I might get picked, but it wasn't. Well, it was looking likely, but I didn't want to risk it. I was like, what you have on hand, just hold on to that. So I applied for the OIMP. I think I sent that in October 2020. Yep. And I was still hoping that the draw comes up because I think you can still cancel and get a full refund after a month or so. So I was still hoping get picked in the express entry, quickly cancel the Ontario PMP, but the express entry draw did not drop. I think maybe it was still like 468 or something, but it did drop to 467. But there was a date cut off, how soon you open your profile. So I think that's also didn't help the cause. So that's how we waited with the Ontario IMP. They took their while as well. Usually they use like a month to get back to you, but they didn't get back to us until January, and that was also the month that we got married as well. Of course, wedding and everything. So I think all of this happened within a week. Of course, wedding, the time Ontario got back and offered me the 600 points for the express entry. So before I applied for the express entry, I had my wife. That was in January 2021. Then I applied for, the next drawer was picked because right then we were already on 1067 points. So in February 2021, we were picked, we submitted our application March 3rd. You remember that one? 2021, and we started waiting, hoping that within 2 or 3 months. Because we were getting, because December 2020, a lot of people were getting their PRs within 2 months, within 1 month, within 3 months, and it seemed like, oh, who knows?
so we're hopeful as well that we are children of God now. We will be lucky and get it approved in under 3 months. But nope, it did not happen.
No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen at all for the next 16 months.
Yes. Oh my God.
August 2022.
So on the 3rd of August 2022. That was
Yes.
when we finally got approved. So also we have to tell them, like, before we added you added me, I also took the
Oh
IELTS test.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
So
yes.
I also took IELTS test and I also did my certificate accreditation. But did I need that one for the to be added?
Yeah,
Or we just did?
if you didn't do the accreditation and the IELTS, the score would have reduced.
Oh, okay.
So instead of probably being on 467, if I added you without the
Accreditation and IELTS.
IELTS, probably it would have dropped to maybe 450 or 440. But at that point in time, it didn't really matter because it was PMP. But when she did
But
the
before,
accreditation, yeah, when
but before we got you got the
PMP, yeah,
nomination, we had to do that just so that we can be
no,
on the safe side. So
yeah,
in case you want to do your, maybe your partner is already has created their profile and wants to add a spouse, then you just have to make sure you also do the West evaluation, that is your academics credentials evaluation, and also take the IELTS and try and do very well at it so that
yep,
the
very,
score will go up.
very, very
I
important.
didn't max out the scores, but
Who maxed out? Nobody maxed out. But
but
yeah,
your score was. And by the way, so when he took the IELTS exam, so at the point where he started this, I was still in my mind. I'm like, oh well, anyhow, whichever way it goes, I know God's plan will also always take the forefront. So by the time he took the IELTS test, he took it just at one sitting, and he did it, like he almost maxed it out. So the point at this point, I'm like, well, this is somebody that he didn't prepare for it, or he just went and he did it. Like, he didn't, like, because the impression I had about IELTS, like, people used to go take classes for IELTS, right, at that time, because I didn't do any research, but like, that's what I used to see. That's what I used to know. So for him to have taken the test and he passed it on one sitting the way he did, that was like the sign I needed. That was like, I just took it as a sign that God had a hand in it, and I felt like, okay, I think God is backing him with this. So like, I started to pray for him and all of that. At this point, still, I was not even expecting anything like.
yeah, but at this point, it's already late because I just checked now. Yeah, it was October actually, 2019. That was when
That
I
you
did
took the
IELTS. Yeah, so
IELTS.
it was close to the period where as the postgraduate was also being completed. That's when I did the IELTS. But at this point, I've already accredited my course because you know the way Nigerian universities are. So that was like the first thing I did in
So
2019
allow.
course accreditation. I took like 3 4 months, but it wasn't really a big deal because there were still other things in the work that was pending.
Yeah.
Then I think you did your IELTS 2020 as well.
Yes, I did the IELTS in 2020.
Course accreditation. Do you remember when you did that one?
Oh, I don't remember exactly, but it was during COVID.
It was during COVID
Was it during
2022 as
COVID?
well. I think probably so
Before
because it was
COVID, a little bit
also
before.
maybe I think
Oh, it was during COVID.
yeah with mine as well. My
Yes,
own diploma. I think we did it together.
I think so. Around that
Yeah,
time, I
yeah.
don't remember exactly. Maybe while I'm editing the video, if I check through my mails, if I find it, I'm going to put the time.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
started officially 2019, and we're done. Well, with the PR, that is August 2022, August 3, 2022. So
Yeah.
basically, just 3 years.
So the time frame is from when you got nominated, or
Okay.
when you got the notification of interest. What does that mean?
Yeah, notification of interest is from Ontario. So that was in August
Okay, August of
2020.
2020.
Oh
Was it
yes,
August
yeah,
2020?
August 2020. That's when I got the
Oh, wow.
notification of interest from Ontario. So from PMP to PR, that's about 2 years. But usually people get PMP and PR now within 4 months to 6 months. So it's really very very different. It varies on the person. It varies on the province as well. Who knows? I've seen people in New Brunswick. I think
Oh, yes.
from start to finish, with London includes 6 months.
Within, like,
You know,
within 8 months.
so
Yeah.
there's no timeline to it anymore. I think just do it and see how it goes.
Yeah. So we want to also address, just using one stone to kill two birds. How much did it cost? Like, at different points, we might not do the sum total, but we just mention how much it costs, maybe the application, the provincial nomination fee, and all of that. We're going to mention the prices to the best of our
Okay.
remembrance.
I think I still pay the agent, but I'm not sure how much. just for some information and the rest, because
That was before you even started applying, Abby.
Yes, yes, yes.
Asking him for
The way work
information.
is. But IELTS then was 75K. I think that was the first in accreditation because I didn't want to go all the way to school. I think I spent West would take maybe 40.
That's getting your transcript.
Yeah, getting transcript from school. All those ones took like 40, 50K. Then West themselves would take probably maybe 60K when you convert it. Yeah, give or take. I'm not sure how much that is. So let me say 100K for
As at that time.
100K for accreditation, depending on your school. 75K for West. Then the postgraduate wasn't that expensive. Expensive is relative. So I think that one was like 200K weekend programs. You just go over the weekends. Example was weekends as well, 1 year program. Accredit that one as well. So because of time, I tried to accredit it with two different bodies. I used West and I used they call it CES, forgetting the name. So those were 50-50K as well. Then when that one came back, Ontario collected 1.5 Canadian dollars for their
They collected
1.5 Canadian dollars for their application, and the express entry application for my spouse and I was I think it's 3,000. No, it's not 3,000. It's 2,008 something for the two of us. Then we did Canadian dollars as well, medicals as well. You remember how much medicals was? We did two medicals
75K.
because we'll check for the medicals and put the price there. We did two medicals because the medicals mostly expired after 1 year. They didn't ask us to go and redo a rematch, and just mentioned that. Yeah.
Oh yes, we have to talk about this. So okay, while we were waiting and praying, so we were waiting. Usually, people will get it we get their approvals like within 6 months, some even 3 months. So we were hoping that okay, we applied on the third. Our application was sent out on the 3rd of March 2021, right? So I was like, bad as a bad. By middle of 2021, we would have gotten our PPR, right? So that was the prayer. So by the time, what's it called? So we're hoping that we'll get our PPR, right? Like by mid of 2021. It did not happen. It was getting to end of the year. It still did not happen. Beginning of 2022, like we could not have see. I did not in our plans. Even we had house rent that was expiring. We were holding on that okay, no, we don't. We hopefully will not have to renew our rent so that other money can also go into flight tickets or all our preparation, because you know that you need. Oh, so we're going to come to that. How much you need for as proof of funds and all that. So we were hoping, trying to save on cost and praying fervently that we will not have to like renew our rent. Unfortunately, we had to renew the rent because PPR did not come. 1 year after, PPR had not come. So by January or February of 2022, so checking with the other people that were on because he joined some WhatsApp group,
which I added as well. The questions we get into, what's the update, what's going on? Like, come and enter. Join the group as well. You said, give me updates. Updating this together.
So
every day,
he was a member of a couple of WhatsApp groups and Telegram groups as well. So that was where he was getting information. So I advised that if you are doing it, try and look online for links to these groups. So that way you'll be able to, you have questions, you have other people that are going through it, and people that have gone through it, they will share their experiences and you learn from them and know how to, go about it. So while we were waiting and checking, so we saw how different people were going about this. Some people, some people were being proactive. If they find out that their medicals was expiring soon, they would go and do another they call it remade. They'll go and do a remade even without getting the request from IRCC. They will go ahead and book an appointment with either Q Life or what's it IOM.
And then the fees as well. Going back to the fees. So Q Life was what we did first at the initial stage. I was at 37.5, I think, or 40K each. Then the second stage was IOM, which was 45K at that point in time each as well. That's what we did. And the remade was working for most people, so we decided why not? Well, cost to gain. Like let's try our luck. So we did that remade in February, 2022. Didn't really change too much. Then we were also sending from that February. It was mails and calls. We're calling RCC almost on a daily basis or every other day. And we're also sending emails, plus please or plus threat or plus everything. Or we say, hey, we're
So
sending
some
emails for
people would
tomorrow.
send emails and beg and formulate stories
You
or
know,
make their situation look very, very pitiful, just to
you
touch the
just
appeal
need,
to the heart
yeah,
of
yeah,
the officer.
you just need to, be in groups of people in similar situations so that you can exchange ideas and ideas. So that's and it worked for some people. I say it's working for some people. So we put
Happy
it
to
in,
try.
and I think it worked for us as well because we didn't get any ADR. ADR is additional document requests because I think we kept on sending. So I
Yeah.
sent them updated list of documents as well. Probably this was in July. I sent them an updated proof of fund as well in July. Probably a week before we got prepared also. But before that, I already sent them work reference letters. Also, I requested for my GCMS notes, I think early January. On that one, it showed that they've not touched the file at all. So it was just hanging for like a year in Accra. The file had not been touched, it not done anything. So I think it was on the second or the third one that I requested for that we saw, oh, the file has been touched, but there was something about work reference letter, like they didn't see it. It was clearly there. So, I just sent them a web form, like, oh, look, this is there. I created the reference letter again, requested for it with new, more recent dates, sent all of that to them again. Still nothing for a month, 2 months. Then I updated my proof of fund again. I sent that to them. I called, and I think that was what helped to finalize
Speed
the
up,
application.
yeah.
Yes, so you can be proactive as well. I don't think there's any crime with being proactive, but maybe not being too over proactive
Yeah, try
because
not to be pushy
yeah, because I think that also delays some people's applications as
and try
well.
not to overfeed them with information, right?
Yeah, yeah, you only need to give them what is necessary.
For a family of two, you will need a proof of fund of
About 17,000 Canadian dollars. This is usually these are official rates, so probably about 6 million to be on the safe side. But I think what most people noticed during the COVID era is that I think it's just better to keep your proof of fund in USD if you can, because of the way our exchange rates was or is.
yeah. So the
So
fluctuation in
yeah, so
exchange rates would affect if you put the exact amount. Then it's possible that by the time they are processing your application, they'll find out that your proof of fund is not up to what you need. So to be on the safe side, just create allowance for any exchange rate fluctuations that might occur during your processing time.
Yep. So all in all, I think for our own application from the starts, all the agents, the medicals, the diploma accrediting courses and everything, I think we spent in upwards of 800,000 naira. And for the application fees, the Ontario application fee and the express entry application fee, that was 1.5 Canadian and 2,800 ish Canadian dollars.
That's
So
what in total.
total, that would be 4,300 Canadian dollars and upwards of 800,000 naira, all in the space of 3 years. So it's not like you just drop this money once again.
Yeah.
Then also, while having in your accounts at least 5, 6 million, depending on how many family members you have, because it needs to be an account for all this period of time. Because as you can see, they can request for an update at any point in time, and that's very recent. And also, they're going to check, your 6 month statements at any point in time.
All right. So you guys at this point, okay. So for the application fees, we spent about 4,300 Canadian dollars.
Yep.
Then you should have I think we can't even say okay it cost us all this at the time because all the money like you didn't expend
No,
all the money
no,
at the
no,
same
no.
time, right?
That's a good thing.
So you
It's
can
different
just start it,
stages.
yes.
Yeah, it's different stages. You can start and stop. As it goes. You're not spending like this one thing. I think the highest we ever spent was just the application fee for express entry, because we're two, and that's 2,800. But apart from that, every other thing is spending maybe in months, in 3 months. There's time differences between when you need to spend this amount, and you can also build up and save for it as well.
Yep. So I think we've covered all that there is to the application. obviously we could not give you like a step by step, okay, talking about biometrics and all of that.
Yeah.
Those are intricate steps, so those are like sub steps. So but I think we've covered the major stages that there is to, or that there are to the nomination. So in case we did not mention it earlier, so we came in through the express entry, Canada Express Entry, is the program we call it?
No, came in through PMP or IMP, Ontario.
Is it not
What's the
still,
name?
is it not
Yeah,
still?
it's still extra entry, but
Yeah, but we got like provincial nomination
Yep.
under the express
So it's
entry.
Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program. That's what we used to come in through.
So yeah, we came in through the
Which means
provincial nomination.
yeah, we need to be in Ontario for at least the duration of so I think it's 2 years, 3 years before you can decide you want to. You can't move around Canada. You can move around Canada, but you need to be in Ontario and work in Ontario.
So that is why they actually invited you to come and
for
add
the
to their
next
workforce.
2 or 3 years before you're now free to go anywhere else you like and live and work.
Yep. So I think we've covered all the costs, application fees, the miscellaneous fees. Mind you, like we mentioned, agent fees, because a lot of you might get confused. I thought you said you didn't use agent. Yes, not we didn't use agents through our processing, but he consulted with an agent initially when he wanted to start, and for that was what he paid.
Yeah, I didn't use agent.
So a lot of other information that he needed, we got from the WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, Google, YouTube.
Everything is online.
Yes, so
like I don't think anybody will take your application better than you. So
yeah.
I think it was because the agent just threw me off first of all. So if it was that I was going to use the agent, I'll probably still be trying to, or maybe who knows, maybe for people will be in
or maybe we'll be Australia.
Maybe in
the other end of the world. Wow.
So yeah, well, they don't give you a full picture of it. Agent was like, no, it can't work. Forget Canada. And I was like, what was he talking about? Let's run this. This is how it's done.
Yeah.
Free information that I didn't pay for. An agent is saying something else. So I think it's better to just do your own
research. That's at the end of the day, it's only you that know how badly you want something, right? No matter how much advice the next person is giving to you or how much guidance, you owe it to yourself to like go and find more information, find out more information, because everybody's situation is different from the next person. Like us now, we're so lucky that everything fell into place. Like when we got married, fell into the time that we're also going to be sending the Ontario nomination application and everything. So he was able to add me to the profile at that time. So my situation will obviously be different from somebody who had already applied, sent in the application to the province before getting married, right? So everybody's situation is different. That's why you need to do your own research along the way and know what next steps to take at any given
and the good
time.
thing is everything is readily available. There are lots of people willing to help as well. Just reach out and ask, and just join groups that you have. Likewise for people in the same situation. Because for me, it was moving from one group to another group. Once I'm done with the pre-IL stage, I moved to the next group, which the next group was looking for express entry and PMPs. Once I got in PMP, I moved to the group of likewise people with Ontario PMP. How we applied. Once we applied, we've gotten the 600 points. We moved to express entry. We're moving together from each group to each group with people in the same situation, so that how did you do this? How did you do that? Ask around, know how to apply as well, and just make sure everything goes smooth. So it's just stage by stage, group by group. Everybody that you are in the same situation with, you help one another.
Yeah. So that's it for this video, you guys. I'm so sorry if it came out long, but we have to share this information, right? So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for watching the video. Please remember to give it a thumbs up if you are yet to. Leave a comment below. If you have any further questions, leave them below. And thank you to my amazing husband. Thank you for joining us, because I really you can tell that like I have very little information. So thank you so much for joining me for this video.
I appreciate it.
And I'll catch you on my next one. Bye.